In today's food shortage updates, we need to talk about DEFCON and nuclear bombers. There's a lot of talk going around about, oh no, these bombers are moving over here and these bombers are moving over there. We need to talk about that. I want to give you an update on what the DEFCON status, which is the defense readiness levels in different areas of the world. Also, we have our community giving us updates on what's going on with their apple trees. And this is going to be, we're going to go over around the world, but I'm going to sum it all up real condensed like so you can kind of see where there are issues according to our community. And let's just say it's not good. Aldi's being reported without eggs in some places and people stealing meds. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates, your reports that you guys are sending in from all around the world about what's going on. We are working together to figure out what's going on. Before we dive in, we want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help people who have retirement accounts to get out of the stock market into gold, silver, and platinum. Stock market's at all-time highs, and silver is not at all-time highs. So if you want to sell high, it's as high as it's ever been in the stock market. So if you want to find out more, if you want to ask Jonathan and his team some questions, see what it actually looks like, they will happily answer that. No obligations if you reach out to them. There'll be a link at the end of the video, and it's always down in the description down below. Make sure you mention this channel if you give them a call directly. That way you get your setup fees waived. All right, so DEFCON. If you're familiar with this, this is basically our U.S. military has readiness levels. So as they approach nuclear war, as they're being very, very cautious, they will increase the DEFCON levels down to 1. That means basically we're at nuclear war and that everyone needs to be ready for that. Well, that's not where we are. And I know there's a bunch of channels out there talking about like, oh no, the bombers are on readiness levels. They're readying. They're getting ready. First off, let's talk about the bombers. Just because F-16s and F-35s, the F stands for fighter, not bomber. Just because those are capable of carrying a B-61 nuclear weapon, which is variable yield between 10 kilotons up to 340 kilotons, which is still a relatively small weapon. And it's not a missile, it's a bomb. You have to drop it. Now, the United States has 630 F-35s as of last month in service. And we are basically purchasing another 1,800 of them. We're phasing out old fighter jets and we're moving in the F-35s. As we replace squadrons and wings of fighter jets with the F-35s, naturally they're going to move. I mean, fighter jets moving. And we're replacing squadrons with other squadrons that are equipped with new equipment. So yeah, F-35s are moving around the world and we're deploying them and removing other units. So when you see news about F-35s moving to different locations or F-16s moving to different locations, yeah, we got like 1,500 of them. And yeah, they're constantly deploying and moving and being redeployed to different locations, units replacing other units. So read that all with a big grain of salt. So if things were really extreme, we would expect this to show up on our DEFCON levels, right? Now, North America is at DEFCON 3, which is not a problem. Like, that's normal. Now, the only places that we have fields that we have at DEFCON 2 are cyber. Cyber is at DEFCON 2 because of all the cyber attacks that have been happening. Space is even at 3, even though we're concerned about what's happening up there. We have Indo-Pacific Command is at level 2, and that's mostly due to elevated risk in North Korea. There have been people shooting across the border. There's tensions with North Korea. We're still technically at war with them. And also the concern that at any time China could do something around Taiwan. So because of that, the Indo-Pacific Command is at DEFCON 2. Also, Central Command, which is the Middle East, is at DEFCON 2. Europe is at DEFCON 3. So these people are like, we're right on the brink of nuclear war. Not according to the U.S. military. The U.S. military thinks that European command is at DEFCON 3, not 2. And we're much more of an issue with Taiwan and North Korea than it is with Russia. That's according to the U.S. military. So take that wherever you will, but there are some channels that are hyperventilating about stuff and moving around of regular deployments of fighter jets, not bombers, fighter jets. Now, when you see the B-2s or the big aircraft moving around, that's a different story. When we deploy those bombers places, that's a bit of a different thing. The B-52s, the B-2s, when you see those things deploying somewhere else, most of the time they're deployed in the United States. Occasionally we'll move some out to Diego Garcia out in the Indian Ocean. And if we deploy any of those to like Ramstein, that is kind of big news. All right, let's jump into your reports about what's going on out there. Bailey says, please pray for those evacuating Ruidoso, New Mexico. Mandatory evacuations due to zero containment of 2 wildfires out there. We are burning to the ground. Beef herds are being lost, and any grazing grass is also being lost. One road open. Please pray for those trying to save their animals and livestock. Most homes will be lost. So if you're a praying person, please be praying for them out there in New Mexico. And our hearts go out to you out there. Grendel in Washington State. I am seeing shelves getting empty in the gas stations up north in the Bellingham area. Also super micro inflation situation and prices ticking up weekly almost. So lots of little small upticks in that. If you guys have updates that you'd like to share with everyone else, make sure you use the word update in a comment on this video or any video on this channel. Cosmic Cat, which wins the prize for the day for the best name. Cosmic Cat. Love it. Southwest Ohio here. I shop around many different stores and I'm noticing that there are fewer aisles in all these stores and less variety. Way less vinegar available, and you're hard pressed to find any kind of cooking oil other than olive oil and the terrible for you vegetable oils. Pretty impossible to find healthy, real food versions of things, even if you're willing to pay for them. Apple prices are up and many other fruit-blended apple sauces. Dubank says the Walmart in Eastland, Texas had no frozen French fries. I walked the aisles 5 times, then I drove up the street to Brookshire's, and their frozen fries section looked really, really small as well. Brian says, was at Costco in Vacaville, California. Was the smallest produce section I have ever seen. Mrs. Smith in Colorado. Dollar Tree had no tea or coffee of any kind. They also didn't have any creamer, bread, English muffins, tostados, or shelf-stable milk. I'm sure that other items were missing also, but I just wanted to get some tea bags and get out of there. Yeah, we're having issues with the Walmarts. We're having issues with other grocery stores from Kroger to Aldi. Just lots of little things are missing here and there, and they're just having supply chain issues. So make sure you're checking your stores and keeping an eye out what's going on. Val in Southeast Pennsylvania, we're coming up on the reports from you guys on your apple trees out there. This is going to impact fruit all over the United States. Val says, Southeast Pennsylvania, I picked up a prescription at the Walmart pharmacy. You used to be able to pay all together when you checked out with your groceries. Now they make you pay at the pharmacy. Why? They said people weren't paying at the self-checkouts, so we had to pull it. Now they have to pay at the pharmacy. People stealing their meds. Which is interesting because you'd think that they would be able to tell who has been stealing their meds. I mean, like, your name is attached to your pharmacy bag, isn't it? Yeah. They couldn't just punish those people. Nope, nope. Got to punish everybody. Got to punish everybody. All right, this is apple tree reports out there. We got some scattered reports, and so I asked you guys to chime in as a big group on what's going on. So I'm going to give you, I'm going to start off with the bad states, and then we'll move to like the states that I'm getting mixed reports from, and then we'll move into the states that that we have good reports from. And I will tell you if there are multiples in those states. Minnesota. We have 1 report of no blooms. Missouri, 2 reports of different people saying that there were no blooms on their apple trees this year. Wisconsin, 2 reports of no blooms on their apple trees out there. Maine, 1 report of no blooms. Southern Utah, 1 report of no blooms. Southern Alberta, 2 neighbors. This was 1 report, but they and their neighbor didn't have any blooms on their apple trees. Washington State. I'm getting mixed reports out of Washington State. Some places saying no blooms, but then another report saying that 14 out of 15 of their trees did not get pollinated. So they had blooms, but no pollination for most of them. And that 1 tree that did get pollinated, it only is going to have about a half a load of apples as compared to normal. But then Western Washington is reporting okay. So towards the coast, okay, but up in the mountains, not okay. And then I saw a report on Eastern Washington saying things were okay. So that's kind of what we got from Washington State, kind of a mixed bag there. And most of it seemed to be focused in on not enough pollinators. Oklahoma, some yes, some no. Kansas, normal. Illinois, normal. Oregon, 2 reports, normal so far. Michigan, 2 reports, normal. West Virginia, okay. Northeast Georgia, okay. Mine here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, had flowers, but not seeing apples yet. So they may still come up, but haven't seen them, but we did have blooms. All right, friends, this is someone's kind of take on it, some information here. Cold Heart says, apple trees and other crops. My uncle has bees since I was a toddler in the Northeast Tennessee area. He lost all his bees this year, and so did all of his neighbors. 10,000 bees gone overnight. He and his neighbors believe the town came through in the night and sprayed something. Their gardens all died off as well. I know a lot of people are concerned about what is going overhead and that stuff coming down. So a lot of concerns out there. It's impacting gardens as well as pollination and beehives, and just bees have been struggling badly, and it's been hard for farms to actually have bees out there because they keep losing these hives. Kathy says, this is kind of related but not quite fully. Kathy, update, Eastern West Virginia garden was doing great, big beautiful tomato plants full of blooms for weeks, but no tomatoes coming on. No pollinators, I guess. Another bust year for my garden. So big plants, but no tomatoes. That's definitely a concern. PA says, I went to Aldi's in Connecticut on Saturday and Sunday, and they had no eggs. There was a sign on the door apologizing for no eggs. Now, I haven't seen outages like that. Must be a store issue, probably, but we'll keep our ear to the ground. Might want to check out Walmart or other grocery stores out there. Let us know if you guys are seeing any egg outages where you are, but other than that, we're not hearing widespread reports of that just yet. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what they can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there. If you want to check out another video from the channel, there's one right up there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.